Welcome back. Well, if you had any doubt that Canadians can be highly competitive, look no further than the millions of us that enroll our kids in amateur sports. There is no nation per capita that spends more on it. Now, for some of those people, it is a massive commitment of time, money, and emotional energy. For much of the past year, a W5 crew and TSN's Rick Westhead has spent time with two families who are all in, hoping that by supporting their kids who excel at sports, it'll turn out to be an investment that pays off.
There is little in life more awe-inspiring than watching athletic excellence in action, whether it's a stick on a puck or a foot on a ball. The perfectly placed shot can be a thing of true beauty. And when that kind of beauty is the creation of a young athlete, it can be especially enthralling. After all, with the proper nurturing, who knows what already exceptional grace and talent might blossom into. Nowadays, a lot goes into developing elite young athletes, like 13-year-old Romero Nicolazzo, a right winger with Global Premier Soccer Canada, and 15-year-old Ethan McFarlane, a defenseman with the AAA Toronto Titans. Their quest for excellence requires an enormous level of commitment, and not just from them. They need a ton of help that starts at home.
We're the McFarlanes, and we're a hockey family.
For Ethan, being the only child at the center of a hockey family means life unfolds in 4 places: home,
I like the pasta you picked out. It reminds me of honey barbecue. That's exactly what it is.
school,
You're not allowed to get off the island.
the car, and of course,
Pass clear too.
the rink.
Nice pass, Ethan. Move your feet. Let's go. Move your feet.
It's February 2018, and this is the beginning of a typically busy week on the ice for Ethan. He's scheduled to be at the rink 6 of the next 7 days, most days more than once.
Let's go. Let's stretch it out. Ethan, middle.
This is 24/7 for you.
Yeah, I like to say the grind never stops. So even when I'm home, I'm focusing on hockey, whether that's doing the small things like even playing mini sticks or even watching the hockey at home too. And also, of course, the training, right? I love the game. I love playing it.
What a shot!
That love of the game was nurtured from an early age, on the ice before he was even out of his stroller.
Go.
By 8 years old, he was spending his time practicing his moves on the family's backyard rink. Moves he honed with countless hours of practice.
Get it out, Ethan! Clear it out!
How old were you when you realized, I'm really good at this, I'm better than most of the other kids my age?
I'd probably say around age 7. That's when I really noticed that all the other kids were a little bit slower than me. So from there, I was just like, this is definitely what I want to do.
During the course of 1 week, walk me through all the different things you do for hockey.
I do power skating. I work out for about 1 hour and 45 minutes at a time. I do skills like puck handling. I do sports psychology, sports nutrition, team practices, games. I also do vision training. With the skills and drills, there's a bunch of different hockey schools that I go to.
So what does that schedule actually look like? Well, it's as busy as it sounds. And not just for Ethan. One or both of his parents are alongside for every game, practice, or training session. 12:30 Saturday afternoon, and Ethan is already headed off the ice in the city of Vaughan, Ontario, with one practice out of the way. 2.5 hours later, he's 60 kilometers away in Ajax.
Go. Open up. Fire right there.
Steve Tsukamoto is Ethan's shooter tutor and one-time coach.
Exit out with your eyes up. Don't stare at the puck. Trust the puck is on your heel.
Every winter, about 100 kids like Ethan flock to this backyard rink to learn how to shoot with greater accuracy and strength. And Ethan believes after 6 years, this training is paying off.
Spin. Eyes up. Good.
19 hours later, and Ethan's shot is again the focus at this stick fitting clinic in Oakville.
Okay, let's do 5 slap shots top left.
Oh, that feels good.
So same thing, we'll do a wrist shot video in this stick and then a slap shot video, okay?
Tyler Straybeck is looking to fit Ethan with the perfect stick. Together, they review slow-mo video of Ethan's shot to figure out what he needs the most.
Flex is too much.
Yeah, it looks like I'm almost doing the splits there.
They're looking for the perfect flex and fit, the right curve, and the right shaft.
I try and customize almost everything I can. So my stick, it's custom. I customize what type of grip I want, the curve, the length, the thickness, everything to try and make my shot the best I can.
And these sticks don't come cheap. They're at least $200 a piece, and there's no guarantee they'll last.
One time I broke 3 sticks in less than 48 hours.
I don't think I'm gonna wanna change your curve too much because your shot's already unreal. So with just like these minor adjustments, your shot could be amazing, right?
3 hours later, and they've traveled more than 100 kilometers to Whitby, Ontario.
So we talk about performance nutrition and sports nutrition, but we really need to start with basic nutrition.
Tina Ward is a sports nutritionist. She wants Ethan to see the benefits of altering his eating habits.
For you specifically, because of your energy requirements, you want to be going not too long without eating. Think about mini meals, so eating, every 3 or 4 hours.
Ethan likes the idea of a diet that will help him achieve peak performance on the ice. But of course, this will affect the whole family's eating habits.
One of the best performance-enhancing foods that I use for a lot of my athletes is coconut product.
Tina advises more and smaller meals, an organic-based diet with lots of grains and nuts, and drinking plenty of specially prepared water.
Taking your pure water, 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of the Himalayan organic sea salt, a squeeze of lemon. Especially for athletes, lemon is an amazing food.
There will be some people who wonder whether it's a little over the top, taking a look at every meal that a 14-year-old has, a kid who's barely a teenager. What would you say to that?
I don't think so at all. I think it's something that we should all be looking at. It's going to help him become stronger and get that extra energy and hopefully give him that competitive edge that he needs out there.
Several days each week, Scott picks Ethan up right after school and they head straight to their home rink in Toronto.
Jules is getting you as a defenseman is going to make the team better.
Yeah,
right?
I know. That's the way I'm trying to look at it, too. It's like, you gotta do something bigger for yourself, and then that's when you succeed.
Ethan, push him!
These Monday sessions can be grueling.
That's it, that was better.
There are only 5 skaters on the ice, a couple of them in their 20s, much stronger and sturdier on their skates than 125-pound Ethan.
Don't lean forward, push your hands out. Push on him. Push, be mean there, push. Okay.
Make sure to focus on that blue screen so that we strengthen your peripheral awareness as much as possible. Here's your countdown.
1 floor up, less than an hour later, and the focus has shifted from brawn to brains in what's called the mind gym.
Keep it up, Ethan. Nice. Good reaction time.
Sarah Werendinsky is Ethan's sport vision coach.
Very even in those 4 quadrants.
That I am missing in that top left area.
We could definitely customize and work on that.
She's been monitoring his progress at these drills over the past 3 years.
3D glasses are on. You're going to be tracking 3 of 8 balls. Maintain the focus on those 3. Shut out all of the other balls.
These exercises are designed to improve Ethan's hand-eye coordination, peripheral vision,
Go. Capital A.
and even his mental processing, so he can react and respond quicker on the ice.
5.
Capital H.
H.
Nice. 5 seconds left.
Sweet.
Let's go.
And that's where he's back the next day.
Drive the net, drive. Control. Nice try.
This time, his skills coach is former NHLer Alan Rourke.
Try to get it on your stick, off your stick.
Can I do the one touch?
You can do whatever you want, just score goals, bud. Hey?
After an hour on the ice, it's upstairs for some video review.
This whole play now starts because you stayed up in the play, right? That's perfect.
Together, they go over footage from Ethan's most recent games, footage that Ethan's dad, Scott, has shot and edited.
It's good to poke for it, but then once he pulls back, that stick's got to come in and right back on puck. You bring your hands up, just keep that one hand on it and poke for it.
Drive it.
Then it's back to a hands-on practice session, this time on synthetic ice.
1, 2. Head up, follow through. Nice. Snap it now. Snap. Good. Full slap. Good. There's no guarantees in any sport and anything in life, but as far as what he does here, it's all work ethic. He listens to everything you say, he does everything you ask him to do, and that's the reason he's gotten better, and that's the reason he's at the level he's at. He's an elite athlete at an elite level, and he works hard for it. Perfect.
Okay.
Bedtime? Yeah. You tired? Yeah.
Shooting drills may make him a bit tired.
Let's go here, Bambi.
But that's nothing compared to this grueling cardiovascular workout. A treadmill on skates.
Right through, right through.
Even a super fit athlete like Ethan can only tackle this for 30 seconds at a time.
Keep going, slow the feet down, long arm. Good.
And as far as Ethan is concerned, all this training isn't enough. He needs the top gear, too. Just like his stick, his skates are also custom made.
I try and customize my skates because that makes it so much more comfortable, and I feel like I'm able to glide better on the ice.
Okay, you good?
Yep.
Hold still.
The fitting process is state-of-the-art.
I can kind of see it.
You can.
Like it turns like the foot white, right?
Yeah. You can see pretty much everything on your foot now.
Yeah.
That'll go through the factory. The factory will be able to read that really well.
These skates are truly cutting edge.
Kind of like Christmas.
That's sick.
Even good enough for the pros.
There's 7 Leafs wearing the skate now.
The cost? $1,200 a pair, plus another $150 for the blades.
Yeah.
Between the high-end gear and training sessions, the costs every year add up quickly for Ethan's parents. Scott, a project manager, and Lisa, a senior consultant for a human resources firm.
When he first started, it's probably going to be about 7 or 8 years. That's probably started at like $10,000 and go up to $20,000 to $25,000 over that time frame kind of thing. So
today you're in that $20,000 to $30,000 a year range?
I would say, yeah.
What would you say to people who say that that's crazy money?
Totally understand there's some gratuitous money that's spent there, right?
He just kept getting better. He would rise to the next challenge, and then you get to a point where you're like, well, how do you cut him off? You can't really.
It is a lot of money. I think it brought us together as a family too. We all were doing a lot of his hockey stuff together. We go on, away for tournaments and have fun and that kind of stuff as well. It's like our hobby.
Youth sports is a way to pull the family together. Canadians are totally dedicated to their youth, and they want to see their youth succeed, and that sports is a way to make kids happy.
Nice throw.
Susan Eustace is the grandmother to a baseball-loving 8-year-old named John.
Good catch.
She's also president and chief analyst of Wintergreen Research near Boston. She's been tracking international spending on youth sports for the past 15 years.
So in your research, you found that Canadians are spending more money per capita than any other country in the world?
Yes, than any other country. It's at $7.2 billion now, up from $5.1 billion.
That's $7.2 billion spent on youth sports in Canada each year, including everything from rinks and fields to equipment and clothing, travel and training. A report also revealed that the average Canadian family spends $1,000 a year on youth sports. But of course, there are exceptions, like the McFarlands.
So how surprised would you be if I told you that we found families that are spending tens of thousands of dollars a year on sports psychologists and everything else?
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me at all. To build a professional athlete is as expensive as building a doctor or any other profession. You have raw skill, which would be like intellect, but you have to nurture that, and nurture costs money.
The pride of a father.
I remember looking in his eyes that day, and he scored 3 goals.
And the dream of an athlete.
Never get sick of it.
Never. It's my passion. I was born to play.
When W5 continues.
We're the Nicolasos, and we're a soccer family.
Children's birthday parties tend to be boisterous events. But get a group of soccer-crazed kids competing for candy in a basement, and it's going to get especially loud. The Nicolaso family in Beamsville, Ontario, is hosting this party for 7-year-old Xavier.
Say happy birthday, Xavier! Happy birthday, Xavier!
And there's a pretty clear theme. There are soccer decorations, soccer trophies for soccer-themed loot bags, soccer sticker books, soccer presents, and of course, a soccer cake.
Good boy, buddy. All right, switch, goalie, switch. Carter, go on that side.
And soccer isn't only the focus of this birthday party. It dominates virtually every aspect of their family's life.
When it comes to soccer, we put everything aside and place soccer as a priority.
So it's every day, it's all day. It's something we do all the time. It becomes a part of everything. It's something that we love, so all 5 of us are in on it all together. Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice try.
Soccer is a year-round sport for all 3 kids. Xavier,
Go, Xavier, that's yours, buddy.
his 10-year-old sister, Kiara,
Hit it! Nice.
and big brother, 13-year-old Romero.
Stay tight. Eliminate that pass. That's it.
Their dad, Frank, coaches Romero's team and helps out with Xavier's.
How do you juggle the soccer interests of 3 kids who are all thriving in the sport?
It's a tough job to juggle all 3.
It's a grueling schedule for the whole family, especially Romero's part of it. All 3 kids are good players, but he's truly elite in his age group.
How big a part of your life is soccer?
A really big part of my life. I do it almost every single day. When I'm not doing it, I'm watching soccer, playing it, looking at stats of my favorite team, favorite player.
Never get sick of it?
Never. It's my passion. I was born to play.
Born to play? Maybe. But his parents, Frank and Abby, raised him to play too.
2.5, he started in a gym, and it was just very fun. It was skills and drills, and then he started on a house league team when he was 3.
The following year, he transformed into this player, and he was scoring goal after goal after goal.
Good job, Rob.
Just watching him move on the field, his footwork, his moves, it's like he dances with the ball. It's an amazing feeling to be his mom and watching him.
A career highlight so far, an Elite Prospects tournament in Florida in 2016. His stellar play prompted other players to chant his name in a shootout. The tournament was even televised in Spanish, and the broadcast made it clear that Romero was a star in the making.
I think it's our day. I think we're gonna win. Go GPS.
Watching Romero's talent on the field
There you go, well done.
can at times be a bit overwhelming for his parents. Like in a game earlier this season, where Romero led his team to a big comeback win.
I looked at him, and I remember looking in his eyes, and you get teary-eyed, but I remember looking in his eyes that day, and he did it. Like, he scored 3 goals.
And right from a young age, he cultivated that natural ability with the willingness to practice anywhere, anytime.
I don't know, there's something that's innate, I guess, in him that pushes him to go train.
Nowadays, that training means practices and games all year long.
Ball's coming, hit the goalie!
Outdoors when it's warm.
Nice!
And indoors when it's cold. Generally 3 team practices and a game each week. He also practices at home 6 days a week.
Set, go!
Then there's his weekly session at this martial arts center.
This ball sucks because it doesn't bounce. And 2.
The idea is to improve his strength, focus, and flexibility.
Let's go!
And then there's specific training on his ball control skills.
Brazilian toe taps, let's see it.
These sessions are focused on Brazilian-style footwork.
Come on, let's go, get him up, get him up. Touch, touch.
I learn different moves every time to use different parts of the foot.
Go.
And when he has spare time at home, he almost always has a ball at his feet, though not always a soccer ball.
How often does he say no when you ask if he wants to practice?
His attendance in the last year has been 100%, so he's never wanted to take a day off.
Romero's level of commitment will come in handy in the next few years. Elite high school athletes are almost all looking for an edge. Athletes like 15-year-old Ethan McFarlane. His sport is hockey, and his training schedule is expensive and relentless. Tens of thousands of dollars a year, and rarely a day off.
Like, it's every day at minimum 2 hours, so it just never stops.
Why do you think people are as willing to invest as much time and money and make this commitment like you're making?
They want to prove that they're able to do something in their life, and that's also another reason that I'm striving for it. And so it's all about, how big you can be, how popular I can be.
Whether it's off the ice or on, he's constantly trying to become a better player, every day, all year long.
You can talk to the person beside you, but then I'd like you to share it with the class.
Okay, we have to write, our name. Well, what's the name of this island?
Even his school life is built around hockey. He's a straight-A student here at Northview Heights Secondary School in Toronto, one of 63 gifted athletes whose academic schedule is adjusted to accommodate the demands of their sports. Julian Fiorio is the program supervisor.
I think this kind of program is vital because we offer the flexibility for students to keep training while earning high school credits, which is the most difficult thing, I think, for most kids these days, especially those who are elite athletes.
How much stress is there on student athletes who participate at this level?
I would say there's a fair amount of pressure because the competition is so great.
Other people may put the pressure on you, but guess what? They're not in here learning what you're learning.
In the past, Ethan has struggled with the pressures that come with competing at such a high level. So for the past 2 years, he's been meeting with Brenley Shapiro, a behavioral psychotherapist.
I work with athletes and high-level performers, and my job is to help them be and become the very best that they can be. And I always say talent is highly overrated.
Talent is highly overrated?
Don't get me wrong, I think talent is nice to have, right? Does it help? No question about it. But your natural God-given talent is only going to take you a certain percentage of the way. How are you going to handle mistakes out there?
3 F's. Find what you've done wrong.
Okay.
So you have to fix what you're going to do.
Excellent.
So you learn from your mistake.
Excellent.
And then you just have to forget about it.
Excellent.
For all the training he does, Ethan says these sessions have made the biggest difference in his game.
The years before, I did not have a great mental game. I'd always be focusing on the negatives, beating myself down. But I did a lot of work on my mental game, and I feel like I really came out strong.
His parents, Scott and Lisa, believe the benefit of Ethan having a strong mental game extends far beyond the rink.
I just think that he's going to, at whatever age he goes into university, college, whatever kind of thing, he's going to be probably hopefully the most well-adjusted kid out there, kind of thing.
So all these expectations, while you use them to drive yourself, for me, they drive pressure, they drive anxiety, and they just create noise.
Yeah.
Are we ready to get rid of them?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, boys, let's go.
Brenley can't keep up with the demand. There's a 4-month wait list to see her.
We got a lot of work to do.
And not all of her clients are as advanced as Ethan. Today, she's leading a session with a hockey team of 9- and 10-year-old boys.
Excellent. Do you guys feel some pressure by chance?
Yeah.
Yeah? A lot. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
And she says nowadays, it's not just the players that are dealing with stress.
I think parents feel pressure too. Oh, I'm afraid to take my kid off the ice or stop training. So everybody's just doing it all the time. And so I think that in itself, just the time demands, what's expected of you is raising some of those levels of stress.
Tell me about your mom and dad. How much pressure do you feel to not just succeed for yourself, but to succeed for them?
I'd probably say that there's not too much pressure, but I feel like there is a certain level of pressure to succeed for them. Whenever in the rink, I'm always trying to do my best. I'm always trying to show them that what they're doing is worth it.
Skill, strength, and spirit.
He's all around very talented hockey player.
And getting more out of the game.
Hockey's taught me so much as a character and as a person.
When W5 continues.
Romero Nicolazzo is like a lot of teenagers these days. He likes to hang out in his bedroom on his phone. And his bedroom tells a lot about who he is. It's a shrine to the accomplishments and aspirations of his young life. The sheer number of trophies and medals suggest he's excelled at his chosen sport, soccer, for years already. Ethan McFarland's room is much the same. He's sports obsessed too, but his sport is hockey. It's the driving force in his life, the source of his greatest dreams and ambitions. Tell me a little bit about your goals. What are you hoping to do in hockey?
I want to get a full scholarship to Michigan State. I feel like I would probably do anything to get there. And then after that, I'd probably be looking to go to the NHL. I mean, that's every kid's dream.
In a perfect world, 10 years from now, tell me where you'll be and what you'll be doing.
10 years from now, I'd be playing hockey for the Chicago Blackhawks, be winning the Stanley Cup.
How realistic is the dream of playing in the NHL today, do you think?
The stats are out there. I mean, it's less than 1% of hockey players probably think, well, make it that far, right? So you hope he's in that 1%.
What's your soccer dream?
To be a professional soccer player and maybe play on the Team Canada.
I know Romy's dream is to become a professional soccer player, play on a pro team, Team Canada. I'd love to see that.
How realistic do you think that is?
You know, how realistic it is, for the little boy that wants to be a fireman or the little boy that wants to be a doctor. It's a dream, and if you're willing to fulfill it by putting in the hard work, then I think it's a possibility.
Don't be static, good boy, good.
Ron Davidson is the head of Global Premier Soccer Canada and has watched Romero for the past 3 years.
Romero, I would put him in an advanced stage, and a lot of that is to do with the family support and his dedication to the game and willing to work. He works extremely hard in training. He could achieve signing professionally in Europe. He could achieve getting a national program. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to play for Canada, and I believe he could go that path. The next couple of years in his development is very key.
There's no doubting Romero's commitment to his sport.
Can I come in?
Come in.
And the same goes for Ethan.
How's it going?
Good, you?
Oh, not too bad.
Everyone around him, including his teacher Julian Fiorio, recognizes his pursuit of athletic excellence is relentless. You deal with so many young student athletes. Is Ethan's level of commitment typical?
I would say he probably goes a bit above and beyond everybody else with the extra things that he's doing on his own time. I think that's what is setting him apart from the typical elite athlete. He's going to the gym. He's getting extra sessions on the ice. He's finding extra resources to become a bit better. He definitely has a skill set, but I think the one thing that he's lacking is a bit of size. He doesn't really have the size that other athletes do.
Head up. Nice shot.
Former NHL defenseman Alan Rourke, who has trained with Ethan for 7 years, agrees.
Release. Nice shots. He's probably going to struggle a little bit in the physical department with, with body contact, but hopefully he grows and he'll work into that. But he's all-around very talented hockey player. I'm not saying he's going to the NHL, but he's a kid that'll make it work. He'll figure it out.
What if you and your family have made all this amazing commitment to the game and you don't wind up playing college? And 10 years from now, you're playing Tuesday morning shinny with other guys your age and working in business. How will you feel about it then?
It's worth it either way. Yeah. Hockey's taught me so much as a character and as a person. It's taught me my work ethic. It's taught me my discipline. It's taught me everything I almost need to be a person. And whether I play in the NHL or not, that's irrelevant.
I think for him it's being about competitive or enjoying the sport, and whether it's European hockey or somewhere in the States or in Canada. I think he'd be happy just being able to do that.
I don't see how he could have done much more, being on ice and gym and everything else that he does.
We don't have expectations that are unrealistic. We do this because we love it now, and he loves being on this train ride.
Do you ever feel pressure to perform well on the field?
No, because I play for myself. If I know I played a bad game, then the next game that I play, I'll try and improve on it. Everyone gets better, so it means I'm gonna have to get better too, so I have to train harder. And if I wanna be a top-notch player, then I'm gonna have to train even harder than I am now.
It's about the heart inside the guy, and it's about his work ethic and what he's willing to do. I don't feel like people are making as much as a commitment as me, but they're pretty close. I love the game. I love playing it.
So, what's next for Romero and Ethan? Well, Romero and his team are heading to England this summer to play some of the top teams there, and Ethan is hoping to hear his name called for the Ontario Hockey League draft in April.